What's up, people? I am absolutely gutted after this one. The Arsenal have drawn Bayern Munich 2-2 in the Champions League at the Emirates Stadium. And I, for one, am absolutely devastated by this result. We absolutely had to have a win today. Absolutely desperately needed to have a win today. And if you need evidence as to why, just look at the performance we just put in. Oh, man. It starts with the manager. It 100% starts with Mikel Arteta. 100%, man. You knew that no matter who was on the right wing for Bayern, that they were going to be so fast, that they were going to cook Kiwior. I heard in the week on YouTube that Kiwior is supposed to be one of our fastest 40-yard sprinters on the team. That's a joke. I feel bad for him. He got absolutely burned by Leroy Sané time and time again in that first half. Burned. Man, on the first goal, take him down. Kick him. Do something. Grab a hold of his shirt. Don't let him run past you. Burned. Kiwior gets absolutely cooked, man. And it's Arteta's fault. You had to know. You had to know. How in the world does Tomiyasu not start this game? How in the world does Tomiyasu not start this game? You knew they were going to be so lightning quick on the break, and yet you put our slowest left back into this game to start. That's an awful decision, man. I know hindsight's 2020, but Kiwior got absolutely demolished. Absolutely wrecked. We were good for the first 12 minutes. For the first 15, 20 minutes, we played our game. We were calm. We passed the ball around. We got into our patterns. We were pressing well. We were keeping them pinned in. We were winning second balls for like 17 minutes. That's a mentality problem. It's 100% mentality problem, man. Here comes David Raya. Here comes David Raya, man. I 100% agree, HCH Huang. Tommy should have 100% started this game. Oh, man. What is David Raya doing? Absolute no man's land. You know, let's back up. Let's back up to the goal, which was absolutely well taken. Well done, Bukayo Saka. That's a fantastic finish. Way to step up in a big game, big moment when we need it. Things were looking great. Things were looking fantastic. We were cruising. And then, David Raya, what on earth are you doing? Just goes on an absolute walkabout. Just who has any idea where his head's at on that one? Gabriel is clearly going to get to the ball. And because you are absolutely so far out of position, he doesn't have the back pass to pass it to, and so has to play it forward at an awkward angle, and it's a bad ball. He's forced into a bad ball because David Raya is so 80 yards out of position. If he has the back ball to David Raya, there's no break there. There's no break there. And then, I mean, I know it's a fast break, but you know, Declan Rice has to stay with Goretzka. Like, it was just a shambles. And then it goes under Raya's legs. Like, that was just an absolute and utter shambles. We did it to ourselves. And we never recovered. We literally never recovered from that moment. Because now 5 minutes later, here comes Sané again. Absolutely dusts up Kiwior. Dusts him up. Thank you so much. Grab his jersey. Rugby tackle him. Kick him in the ankle. Do something. Defending 101, you don't let the man and the ball get past you. Stop one of them. Take the yellow card. Thomas Partey was in the game for 14 seconds and knew to do that. Immediately took the yellow card when it was the same sort of fast break where we were going to be caught out. Take the yellow card. Kick the crap out of him. Do something. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And then to start the second half, you bring on Zinchenko? We're getting cooked down the left, down the right, their right-hand side, our left-hand side. We're getting destroyed by their right winger. And your solution? Bring on our worst defender. Mikel Arteta at halftime was desperate. He immediately went into desperation mode. Switched up the tactics where we were attacking with Zinchenko instead of overloading the right-hand side where we were having joy in the first half, where we've been destructive and clinical all season long with Ben White making the overlap. And guess what? When we decided to do it in the second half, that's when we were dangerous again as well. Zinchenko was such a hindrance in this game. Yet again, another absolute shocker. He was awful at Brighton. Awful! That was one of our best performances of the season at Brighton, and Zinchenko was the worst, one of his worst. How in the hell does he get into this game? Mikel Arteta absolutely panicked. You panicked. Not only does the team have a fragile mentality, you, sir, have a fragile mentality. Mikel Arteta panicked at halftime. Switched it up completely. Went away from what we've been good at all season long and decided to go to what we were trying to be last season, but it has been not very successful this season. Zinchenko absolutely, I don't know how many balls he played just directly out of bounds, complete bad passes. It was a horrible decision. And Arteta's only saving grace is that his other substitutes came in and got the equalizer. The only saving grace. Because you panicked. You absolutely panicked. There were no tactics in our possession at the end of that game. It was desperation to get it forward. Now, how about we win a second ball? There wouldn't have been desperation in the end if we would win second balls in that first half. Our press did well, got them to play long ball, and then we just let them win every second ball. We play our opponent's game in the Champions League. That's why I'm devastated by this result. We do not play the Arsenal way in the Champions League. Whatever Bayern Munich decides to do, that's what we're going to play with you. And it became a basketball game. Where's the control that we've had and we've looked for all season in the Premier League? Where is that control? Yeah, absolutely. There wasn't even Bayern fans there. This hurts a lot. I agree, Hong. This is incredibly bitter because we didn't go for it. Like we didn't decide to play our game. We didn't decide to do what we do. That's what made us favorites, is because if we play our game, we can be fantastic, devastating, and incredible. But yet, when we decide to play Porto's game, when we decide to play Lens's game, when we decide to play Bayern Munich's game, the worst Bayern Munich team in 13 years was comfortable. They knew they had pace on the break. They knew they had absolute devastating lightning pace going the other way, so they were comfortable. We never put them under. We never put them under. And you want to talk about Champions League heritage? You want to talk about experience? Wait till we go to Germany. It's going to be an absolute and utter cauldron for 90 minutes. We cannot say the same at the Emirates. We cannot say the same today. We were nervous. The home fans were nervous and infected the team. And so we decided to play their game. We decided to play Bayern Munich's game. And do you really expect us to win? In desperation mode? In desperation mode, you really expect us to win instead of control, which is Arteta's game. Why? Why has Arteta, man, comes from the top down? He panicked. He absolutely panicked and just switched it all up. I don't even know what the justification is for playing Kiwior. He's been good, sure, but he's certainly no match for Sane as far as pace. At least Tomiyasu can maybe match him for pace, and also Tomiyasu has the experience of making that foul, of making sure that Sane gets pulled back, that you don't let him just blow by you. He's the captain of Japan he knows. He would have known to make that foul to keep Sane from bursting into the box. We got it wrong today, man. Mikel Arteta just got it way wrong. I don't know what to do going forward. I don't know what we're going to do in Germany, man. We needed this win. That's why I'm so gutted, so devastated. We absolutely had to win today. I'm honestly terrified of what's going to happen next Wednesday. I don't like our fragile mentality in the Champions League scares me. Scares me, man. Absolutely scares me. And we can't complain about the refs as much as I'd love to complain about them. We can't complain about the refs. If we didn't learn in Porto that the refs are not ever going to be on your side, if we didn't learn that in Porto, then shame on us. That's on us. Diving around Kai Havertz, leaving your leg in Bukayo Saka to go down at the end of the game, just expecting to get the call. Nah, man. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to win the Champions League, guys. I'll tell you that right now. That's definitely not good enough to win the Champions League. Yeah. I mean, I think Trossard and Jesus definitely came in, did their thing. We'll see. You know, we have another gotta get right back up and go again. Massive game on Saturday versus Villa. So if Trossard and Jesus maybe come in for that one, yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think we need Trossard and Jesus more so because of the mentality. You know, more so because they came into a game in a desperate situation where we needed it and they stepped up. That's what I was thinking at halftime is that we need someone to stand up in that dressing room and look around and say, look, it ain't going down like this today. It's not happening like this today. It's just not going to be like this. And I wanted it to be Martin Odegaard. But he was poor today. God, he was poor today, man. It was frustrating. Frustrating that, when you really need somebody to step up and pull us up by our haunches, it wasn't our captain that popped up and did that. I'm not saying he was awful. I'm not saying that, he's just the worst thing that's ever been around. But, we got to have him at his best in these massive games. It's got to be the one that we look to. And yes, running in the press and being a madman in the press, I love that. I absolutely do. But you can't be the one with sloppiness, with bad passes. You can't be that guy. You can't be the guy that is getting upset and throwing your hands around like this. That can't be Odegaard. Can't be. And so, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm absolutely devastated. I expected us to be far better. You know, yeah, we had, what was it? I got the stats up right here. We had 60% of possession, but only managed 4 shots on goal. And before people start crying about Bayern Munich parking buses or whatever, I mean, duh. Of course, like, if we are surprised by anything Bayern did today, then shame on us. Shame on Arteta if anything that happened today surprised him at all. And I've said it in our regular pod, in our regular, panel, with the rest of the group on Mondays and Thursdays. I've said it. Arteta's going to have to find a way in his own mind for himself. Hong, I can see us parking the bus next week. And if we do, I don't think it'll work. Look, we were fortunate in the penalty shootout that it was at our ground. One thing I've definitely noticed in penalty shootouts this season so far is that when it's not at your ground, it's really, really tough, and the Allianz is going to be their biggest weapon next week. And so parking the bus and trying to just withstand it for 90 minutes, I don't know, man. We're going to have to play our game. And I really, 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 really desperately do not want to go to penalty kicks. Just with every fiber of my being, do not want to go to penalty kicks. I couldn't. Ugh. I don't know if my heart could take that. That would be just awful. So I'm intrigued to see what Arteta does. He's gonna have to figure something out mentally to get them to calm down, to play our game and not worry about when there's a setback. I don't know what David Raya was thinking. And even on the penalty, David Raya went so early. Kane didn't even have to hit his trademark upper 90 postage stamp. No one in the world ever stops it ever. He didn't even have to hit that because David Raya dove before the whistle blew. And Kane's just like, oh, you're going to lay on that side. I'll just roll it over here. Before, like, the whistle blows and Raya's already leaning. Like, you absolutely messed that one up, man. Raya did not impress me today. And it was mentality. It's all mentality. He didn't have to come out for the ball. He didn't have to come out for that ball. And if he doesn't, we don't give up the first goal, and it's a whole different story. We were absolutely cruising at that point. Absolutely cruising at that point. And so, yeah, it's going to be, man, I'm nervous already. I'm absolutely nervous already, to see what's going to happen next Wednesday. I have hope. I've doubted Arteta many times in the past, and he's always come through. We've continually gotten over hurdles that we haven't been. Yeah, I mean, Gabriel kept dribbling the ball. He says, you say the first goal totally avoidable. Don't know why Gabriel kept dribbling the ball. He kept dribbling the ball because Raya was 90 yards out of position, and he didn't have a ball to play back like we always have. Because that goal is David Raya's fault. Nothing on Gabriel. Because he either gets tackled by Kane, loses the ball, or has to dribble even more backwards and wait for Raya to get back into position. So instead of doing that, as he's pressured by one of the best forwards in the world, he tries to turn out. It definitely killed our momentum. 100% killed our momentum, Wong. It definitely did. And, yeah, man, we have to show a stronger mentality to deal with those kinds of things, because the Champions League is going to bring those kinds of things. Next Wednesday is going to be it's going to be awful. It's going to be so tough. And now we shift. We got to get right back in it. We have to get the mentality right back up for Saturday against Aston Villa. So yeah, there you have it. Gutted, man. Absolutely gutted. But yeah, thanks for being here, of course. Thanks for listening. Let's get the likes up on the video. Of course, Mr. Huang, thank you for being here. Thanks for commenting and listening, of course. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. We're on our way to the magical 1,000, of course. And if you're enjoying these match reactions and all our content, go ahead and get that notification bell on. We will be back on Thursday night after all of the Champions League and Europa League action for our regularly scheduled podcast. So again, I thank you for being here, and you will see you next time.